YouTube. What is up? Pardon the glare and the room. It's not a crazy setup, but it's a setup. I want to keep it short and sweet, and just talk about the fact that these past 2 weeks have been absolutely amazing to me with this whole YouTube creative space, getting back into the groove of things. I may not be the biggest YouTube channel in the space of like talking music and having crazy takes on music, but it's the interaction that I've been receiving that I really, really appreciate. The likes, the comments, the constructive criticism, difference of opinions and things like that. They may not be the biggest things to other people, but they're real big to me. No diddy. So I just want to say thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. Like I'm up, I don't know how many subscribers in the choppy 2 weeks that I've been doing this, and it really puts that battery in my back to just keep going. So I wanted to express that and say thank you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into the video.
Damn. Yeah. Hey. Okay, mama was a gangster, daddy was the hood celebrity.
Ian O'Neal Smith, formerly known as just Ian, is a 19-year-old rapper born out of St. Louis, Missouri, who is currently making big waves in the music industry due to his Yeat-like sound but Gerber baby looks. First releasing music to SoundCloud in 2018 at the age of 13 or 14, creating mixed tracks with popular artists such as Chief Keef, to eventually producing tracks for popular underground artist Isaiah TG, which clearly influenced his sound at the current time of his releasing and producing music. To the outside world, it may seem like Ian is just an industry plant or another white rapper with a huge backing and inheritance money, but a quick look into his SoundCloud credits and you can see that slowly but surely Ian has worked and perfected his craft into what it is today. Not much is known about the rapper since there aren't any serious interviews of him, but there's no denying that the young artist is making serious waves and gaining himself some serious cosigns from the music and streaming industry alike. Following that, Ian also didn't seem to have a large social media presence prior to him releasing his smash hit Figure It Out on February 14, 2024, which is the famous lyrics,
My dick better like Marshawn Lynch, he'll run through somebody.
Ian later followed up the hit song and released a video with an actual cameo of Marshawn Lynch on May 13, 2024. Followed by a flurry of comedic tone trillers and TikToks to promote his music and video along with snippets from his upcoming project, Ian almost immediately released his debut mixtape titled Valedictorian on May 17, 2024, and the deluxe shortly after on the 31st. Most recently coming off of a somewhat bland and cringeworthy performance at Summerfest and releasing a track with the relatively new artist Vaughn off of 1700, Ian has quickly become a hot commodity. But every title has its pros and cons, quickly becoming labeled as a Yeat knockoff Ken Carson spinoff and not about that life. It hasn't seemed to knock the rapper off his pivot nor keep him from gaining recognition from the likes of Bronny James, Quavo, Lil Yachty, Kai Cenat, and more, just to name a few. So, off script. So without glazing, why I feel like Ian is going to be a bigger rapper than he already is comes from the enigma of him just being relevant as is. It's puzzling to see somebody like Ian thinking he's just another vanilla frat white boy who probably is cool with the gang but definitely isn't capable of hanging with the gang. You feel me? Only to find out that he's the coolest white boy in the county. His simple, calm, corny demeanor is a complete 360 from what he sounds like on a track. His tone is down packed and he's still himself. You can tell he's just a guy who likes music, made a few tracks a couple years ago and liked the idea of being a rapper and just worked on his craft. Honestly, I feel like that gives him such a leg up with consumers, aka us, the listeners, because it doesn't seem like he's portraying a character. He's just a white boy who's a hard rapper, and I mean, we've seen that plenty of times with other people. Not gonna name the artist, but I mean, you have your opinion of artists who are white and fire. I have my opinion, and he flies into that category of fire so far with the music that he's released. I mean, there's always going to be the Yeat comparisons, and that just comes from Yeat creating the warbled, spaced out, sporadic, leaned out spaceman tone, and Ian coming in a few years after him, and Yeat has been a habitual hit maker for like still to this day, regardless of what people say about his most recent album, like Yeat is somebody where if he need a quick check, he'll throw some he's on a goddamn beat and he's solid. You feel what I'm saying? Throw them 808s on there, a bell, and he's good. But back to Ian and why I feel like he's definitely going to be the next biggest thing is he's aligning himself with the right artist creatively, and it's showing with his newest snippet with Yachty. I mean, that John is going crazy, and it's just Ian's part that's people are going crazy over. Like,
come on. Where they kicking my blunt with no brand yet? If I face me another, I die here. I'm just praying I make it till Friday. Either way, I'ma die with my pride. Fell in love with the color and parked out front. Bitch, wait till you see the garage. I done made me a promise, I'll fight back once. This time I'ma leave it to God.
That's a really big snippet, and I wouldn't be surprised if Yachty hasn't extended like some sort of offer to Ian to potentially be a part of the Concrete Boys. But the only reason I would assume he hasn't is because Ian's sound isn't necessarily on brand to what the Concrete Boys have. Like, I don't know, it seems like he just kind of would be thrown in there and it doesn't really mix. But in terms of Yachty making revenue, I think that he probably has said something along the lines of that. But I hate to bring Ian's race into play, but it's very much relevant as to why he's getting the hype he's getting. And yeah, so everything this dude does socially and visually just doesn't match audibly. You know what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. He's proof that bland vanilla people in general can make good music. White people are always going to have to prove themselves in the arena of rap. That's just how it is. It's like a rite of passage. You know what I'm saying? Only the strongest will survive and definitely thrive in the arena of rap. I think that the fact that Ian doesn't sound like what he looks like musically gives him such an advantage, because you can probably tell that first coming into the scene, nobody was taking him serious until he showed that he could hang. And he's himself. Like, if you listen to what he says, he's not the biggest degenerate on a track. I'm not going to sit and say like he's super innovative and he's doing something that hasn't been done, but it's the fact that he's doing it kind of effortlessly. Like, you get this white guy who comes out of nowhere with a hit song and then has progressively just dropped hit after hit after hit. Even if it's not, you know, on the charts of some Billboard or anything like that, he's dropping songs that are certified hits in, I don't want to say the streets, but like the streets, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's rocking with it, whether they black, white, Asian, Indian, Guamanian, Salvadorian, like, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no denying that he's a talented artist, regardless of his race. It just so happens that he is white, doing very well in an arena full of black people. And I mean, he's clearly accepted, which is dope to see, because you get a lot of people who come into the rap game who may not be black, and they kind of just seem like they're trying a bit too hard. You know what I'm saying? He's clearly good at marketing. I mean, the way he markets himself is very bland, almost kind of just real cringeworthy, very just straight to the point, and seems like really bad satire, but it works for him. It's the fact that it's such a 360 from how he looks and how he markets himself to how he sounds sonically. And I'm not going to sit and say it's genius or anything, because I mean, Little Mabu tries to do the same thing, but he's trying too hard. So with that being said, I think if Ian doesn't flood the market with his own projects and just keeps at the pace he's going, he's going to have a very strong fan base. Continue doing feats. Don't change the image or the way he's branded himself anytime soon, and just gradually progress in his sound and in music. And I think he's definitely going to be the next biggest thing. I don't know if he's got, like, I wouldn't say he's Post Malone potential yet, because right now he doesn't seem like he's, I don't want to say capable, but right now he hasn't done anything that would make me think that he could veer off and do something completely different and it would work. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of the production and beats that he's making, fire, bro. Like, his album or mixtape Valedictorian, fire. And when like, he's a new artist, so I'm still relatively new to him. And everybody is. The world is, you know, unless you've really been following him since he started dropping in 2018. But like, come on, gang. But his track record right now is, I'm not going to say astounding, but like out of a 10, he's a solid, because he doesn't have much out. I got to give him a solid 7. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do a 7.5 or anything like that. He's at least a solid 7. And on the low end, like a 6. You know what I'm saying? That's above average for one project and one feat. You know what I'm saying? And some snippets. That's really good. But yeah, I think he's going to be a huge rapper just off the fact that he's mixing well with the company he's keeping. You know what I'm saying? He's being himself. He's showing that he can just make good music, and it is what it is. So that being said, do y'all think that Ian is going to be the next biggest like white rapper phenomenon? Y'all drop some comments. Let's talk about it, man. Let's figure it out. Let's see if he'll be somebody where a couple months from now he's gonna get blown out the water by some other kid or some other dude, and figure it out. Y'all hit me in the comments and let me know. With that being said, y'all have an amazing day or night whenever you're watching this. I'm out.